Hello everyone, I am Cool Guy, and patch 1.1.2 has dropped. Some things have changed in Destiny. Now, we're going to cover a few of the patch notes, but mostly we're going to talk about special ammunition and the effects that it had on the Crucible. I did have a sniping video lined up. Bungie dropped this patch pretty quick, so that video is lined up for a later date. Now in the background, I'm using my beautifully rolled Timur's Lash. It has Outlaw, Precision Kills increase reload speed, Feeding Frenzy, and any kill increases reload speed. Now those perks stack. It also has Field Scout and Perfect Balance. I love the gun. It reloads lightning fast. But if you read the patch notes from top to bottom, you can see some transitions. It goes from community agenda to middle ground, and then Bungie's personal agenda. And some things were also added for the social aspect of Destiny. Now, first what appears to be the community agenda with this patch. They added more vault space, we know this, 24 armor slots, 36 weapon slots, and 24 general slots. They added colorblind options, added audio controls, added a weapon lock system. You can't accidentally dismantle weapons anymore. And they added effects to the purple ball in the tower. They added a jukebox. Pretty cool things. They also can make it to where you can wear your helmet in social spaces. They added increased reputation to Eris Morn bounties. Strikes, Vols to Arc, they reduce the strength by 33%, reduce the amount of enemies in that encounter, and they saw the community was just quitting out of that strike. It takes too long, Vols to Arc, he's a bullet sponge, so they just took a layer off of him. Same thing with the Dust Palace strike, they did the same type of thing. And then you have some middle ground. Community was fed up with some of the bugs in the raids. I won't go over all of them, we'll go over just a couple, but Bungie did what they should have done. They fixed them. Things like Vaulted Glass getting shot in the bubble, Crota standing up too early, sword despawning, not going for the full 30 seconds. These things are huge. They were crippling the raids, especially when you have 6 guys and you're trying really hard to get it done, and something that's out of your hands makes your fate. That was just horrible. So I'm glad that they finally got to that. And then you have Bungie's agenda. This is mostly what we're going to be talking about, balancing in the Crucible. In general, there's some skirmish things that they did, 5-second respawns, reviving points they took away. I mean, so that's pretty cool. A lot of that was lame. Some of the bounties they made easier. No more sprees for your shotgun, hand cannon, and fusion rifle kills. You just have to get kills now, no sprees. Now, ammunition. Crates are now visible for all players, and they're available to pick up with a countdown timer. So you can go up to heavy ammo, you'll see that it spawns in 2 minutes. You'll just kind of know, right? Or special ammo, you'll see a crate minute and a half or so. So that's cool, because a lot of times I'm sitting there waiting by heavy, I'm waiting for my teammates to come up, and they never do. So with all these audio cues, and there's a 15-second timer now, people actually hopefully come over and get this heavy ammo. So Guardians no longer drop special ammo on death. Lowered the amount of special ammo picked up in crates from 50% to 25%. Special ammo crates respawn from 45 seconds to 2 minutes. Increased drop radius for friendly pickups on the special crate from 20 meters to 100. Slightly increased the interaction time to trying to pick up the special ammo crate from 0.1 to 0.8 seconds. Reduced the number of crates on the map and relocated and jumbled them around from 6 to 8 crates down to 3 to 5. So special and heavy ammo bricks now despawn if a player dies, or because it's going to be on a timer now. 20 seconds for special, 30 seconds for heavy. Heavy ammo now lets everyone know which you see it in the kill feed, who picked up ammo and how many picked up heavy ammo. And I might see, like, I mean, this is what my friend and I do. We'll see it, we'll let them get it first. We'll say, okay, 3 of them have heavy. And then increased waiting time on heavy ammo from 10 seconds to 15. So that audio cue, heavy ammo inbound, you can have enough time to get there if you weren't paying attention. Now, as I stated before in a previous video, Bungie needs to get players back to using the primary weapons, and they are forcing us to do so. Like I said, a lot of people spawn in, switch directly to the shotgun, go about their day. That's fine, but I've always had, you guys know how I feel. I've always had an issue with that. It takes away from the integrity of the game. And the gunplay in Destiny is very tight. It's very good gunplay. You guys know this. And I'll put up the gunplay with any first-person shooter I've ever played, and the only one that comes close is, guess what, Halo from Bungie. So, and I played a little bit with 1.1.2. I love it. It was needed. Previous patches, they nerfed the range of the shotguns, overall effectiveness of specials like fusions. And with this 1.1.2, I played some Clash games, and there was one guy on the other team. You know who he is, right? The kamikaze blink shotgunner. And I paid attention to this guy. For like 20-30 seconds, he was on fire. Acrobatically jumping, dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge, Then he was silent. I didn't hear any whoosh, blink noises, no distant shotgun shots. He was grounded. In these types of players, you could really see that it affected them, because they're kind of in the back, they don't really know what to do. They're using their primary weapon now. But you saw spats throughout the match, but not near as much and not as deliberate. Bungie wants you to think how you play, how you use your weapons, and how you plan your attack. Starting off, the Feltwinter's Lash shotgun now has 7 total shots, and you get 4 bullets when you pick up a special ammo crate. My longbow sniper, it starts off with 7. I get 4 bullets every time I pick up a special ammo crate. Now keep in mind, those 4 bullets are 2 minutes apart. And here's how I know this was the best course of action Bungie could have taken, because if the game shipped right now, with no other prior knowledge of how the Crucible was, the community, they would have been fine. They wouldn't know any better. You would use your special sparingly, you would use it accordingly, and you'd use it in special situations. No one would think twice. It would just be how the game was. But let's think outside the box. Let's do a little bit of thinking. Say the game shipped right now with this patch, right? The lower special ammo patch, with no previous knowledge of how the Crucible was, and the very first patch Bungie puts in say 1.0, say it went something like this. We're going to be doubling the starting special ammo you get on spawn, increasing the special ammo you get from 25% to 50% on special ammo crates. We're going to be adding 1 to 3 of those special ammo crates per level. We're going to be adding a quicker pickup of special ammo crates, and now when you kill an enemy player, they're going to drop special ammo bricks, and so on, so on, so on. I can guarantee you that would be the most talked about thing on every thread on the first couple of pages of Reddit and Bungie.net. The community would be in disbelief. They would play it, and they would rage. And just an hour playing doubles with my friend in 1.1.2, we came across a lot of situations. We would stick close and try to get special ammo together, like, hey, I'm popping a crate. Or, hey, let's try to get the closest crate to them and take it away. We even came across a team that was way, way in the back using icebreakers. And that's what's beautiful about the game. If the gun's already in place, if you want to snipe the whole game, use the icebreaker. If you want to blink shotgun, use the universal remote. I would even be okay with the invective getting on par with the icebreaker as far as regen ammo-wise, because that would take away a Thorn and a last word out of the enemy's hands, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. So we were playing these guys, we couldn't touch them, out of snipe ammo. I said, hey, you got your universal remote, right? He goes, yeah. So we put on blink, and we went to town. We destroyed him, and I really, really enjoyed that. And if they would have changed their playstyle away from the icebreakers, we would have changed ours. I like that back and forth strategy. So with the special ammo reduction, there's also a rise of something new. Yes, there are less shotguns, less ammo. People are starting to use their primaries like I want, but you see a whole new type of Crucible. The deal with shotguns, fusions, and special weapons in general is their easy one-hit kill potential. Not too much skill required, it's easy street. The community loves that power. They love just going right up, one-hit kill, fast TTK. So what now? So, including me, we now get our grubby little hands on the next best thing. And it's a cancer in the Crucible, really. I mean, yes, I'm talking about the good old last word, Thorn, Red Death, and that's the Crucible now. The Red Death a little bit, but that's the Crucible now. To compete, I mean really compete, like destroy the opposite team, you almost need to use these weapons. And I always say, take a full team of 6, all using one weapon, who wins? 6 Thorn users versus 6 Hardlight users, 6 Last Word users versus 6 Suros, 6 Red Death versus 6 Monte Carlo. They are outclassed. And it's moved on from calling the Crucible PvP to HVH. I mean, when you go to the Crucible, at least half, or at least more than half, are using the Last Word of Thorn. Don't worry, I use them too. It's not because I want to, it's because I want to stay competitive. I can't be the only one that is bummed that I can't actually use guns that I want to in the Crucible. I can't be. So it's inevitable that the Last Word and Thorn are going to get nerfed. You're going to be kidding yourself if you think otherwise. And they're just a couple of stars that shine a little bit too bright in the Crucible. As feedback, here's my suggestion for hand cannons. Why not do this? And they keep messing with damage up, down, either destroying it for PvE or PvP, and just changing the gun, period. I think you don't have to do that. I think they should add more flinch to the player using a hand cannon, meaning, let's say a Thorn against a scout rifle at long range. If the scout rifle hits you, a high impact weapon, and you're aiming down sights with a hand cannon and you're shooting, it will knock him way off. Way off. It'll flinch him very hard at long range. And I think that that could balance them out. A lot of games have flinch. Destiny has flinch. It's more noticeable with slower shooting weapons like a scout. But like with your Last Word and Thorn that shoots so fast, it kind of coincides. You don't know if it's flinch, you don't know if it's recoil. But in a game like Call of Duty, you have to run like the toughness perk to not take as much. Now flinch is when you take fire, your aim gets knocked off while you're shooting, you end up missing your shot. Try aiming at Vols to Arc while he has his minigun on you. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But say they add this flinch and find a happy medium. Say mid to long range encounters are affected. That would balance them out. They would still dominate close range because flinch from close to medium range wouldn't be affected too much. But it would make players not only choose their battles, but have to fight the gun's visual recoil and the flinch itself. This also makes perks like unflinching sought after. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Before they would try this, they tried this range damage reduction drop off. Didn't work. It doesn't work. So I think that this could be an option. And hand cannons, they have the highest TTK. What is it? The Thorn 0.3 and Last Word 0.5. Very fast. And one of the toughest parts of going against them is because of how hard they hit. High impact. I am positive that this has happened to you. Let's say you're using a scout AR, well, any gun, even a hand cannon. When they hit you, they flinch you, and they flinch you hard. Keep in mind, they shoot fast compared to a scout or pulse. But it happens with any weapons. Every weapon has flinch. But I just think that the hand cannons could use a little bit more. So many times, countless times, I'll be using a gun like the Fangaleon's Demise, Three Little Words. They have increments between each shot. Like, you can't shoot them as fast as you can. They're timed, right? So, say I'm on a player's head, my first shot connect. Now, I'm redirected back to their head. I'm pausing between my shots. And now, a lot of the time, when I'm getting ready to shoot my next shot, they flinch me, they hit me with a hand cannon, and it knocks me completely off course, and I miss that shot, and they mow me down. My aim gets thrown off. That needs to happen for the hand cannons. More. So that's what I suggest, and then with that, ARs could be slightly brought back up. And hand cannons, they're just so dominant at every range, at everything. And that's what the Crucible is. I can't confirm, someone told me they heard from a developer, either from a ride-along or a post, that exotics will be retuned for the House of Wolves. Now, it's getting worse and worse. It's straight up stale. It's not that I'm complaining. It's just that I want a little bit more out of the Crucible. It's like, it's time and time again, I'll come into a game, and that's all there is. And I have to bring mine out because I want to stay competitive. And a lot of time, I'll see a player that is sub 20, probably got some cool new green gear that he really likes using out in PvE, like a Shinjin, Size Tempest. And he'll go to the Crucible and get absolutely dumpstered, wrecked, destroyed, melted, any, insert word here. It's totally outclassed. And it's Friday the 17th, Zur Day. The last word is being sold. Like I said, I know a lot of you are extremely attached to your last word, Thorn, I get that. But sit back and think about how many people use them, how disgustingly fast their TTK is, and how that is pretty much all you're going to see. Put it this way, House of Wolves coming up. We have an exotic shotgun and an exotic scout. Maybe the Jewel of Osiris with the Trials of Osiris might make an appearance because of his niche ability, but with the guns coming out, including vendor weapons, dozens of them, I don't see any of them outclassing the last word or Thorn, any of them. So that's at least 3-4 more months, the current state of the Crucible right now with hand cannons. Are you okay with that? And like right now I'm using the Suros regime, trick. It's going to be linked in the description how to make the Suros shoot faster. But I do okay with any other weapon. Like I'll win like 25-12, but if I really want to blow somebody out of the water, because people are using these last word and Thorns, like usually 4 of them, 4 or 5 are, I'll bring mine out and win 21-2. So that's my thoughts. So moving on to Destiny's timeline. Actually, before we get into that, this type of stuff needs to be talked about. My friend Cammy Cakes did a breakdown on the last word and how dominant it is on his channel. The comments were flooded with rebuttals, good debates, but it's the truth. By the way, congratulations to you, Cammy, for being featured on Planet Destiny's Community Spotlight. That's my boy. And one of my favorite YouTubers is B Dominance, or Batman Dominance. I don't always agree with what he says, but I respect what he does on YouTube. I respect his thought process, discussing sensitive issues passionately. So, the Destiny timeline. Wednesday, April 22nd, walking tour of the reef, live discussion of upgrade paths for your gear. And it might just be your raid stuff, Fatebringer, Vision of Confluence, Vaulted Glass Armor, but who knows? They could add in older legendaries, like I would like to dust off my Shadow Price, get it to 365, that'd be pretty sweet. Wednesday, April 29th, reveal live gameplay of the Trials of Osiris, it's a collection of in-game gear. I'm ready to see the Jewel of Osiris, 3-shot hand cannon with Lyca in the chamber, little mini Hawk Awesome. I will be watching that, so. Wednesday, May 6th, reveal gameplay of the Prison of Elders, a new 3-player cooperative multiplayer arena. Now, millions of hearts broke when they found out that there is no raid in the House of Wolves, but who knows? You could end up enjoying it. I like Horde mode, Gears of War Horde mode, Firefight in Halo, Slaughterhouse in Borderlands, even like the Coliseum in Fable. I enjoy that kind of stuff, so I'm going to reserve my judgment. It might be really fun, the replayability might be there, but who knows? Maybe the memory constraints just weren't there on the PS3 and the 360. God, Thorn's so overpowered. Maybe they couldn't fit it on the disc, and maybe Comet might be a standalone DLC. Who knows? There's so many questions to be answered that have yet been revealed, and we just have to wait. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch my video, and until next time, I am Cool Guy.
Their probe is shown.